Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Real Sports Updates here. Back again with another video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Don't forget to like this video on your way out as well, too. So, let's get to the topic at hand today. Is Michael Davis a cut or trade candidate? The answer to that is an emphatic yes. And let me tell you why. So, let's get down to it. And let's kind of dive into this a little bit. As I've said before, in previous videos, the Chargers are loaded with talent. They have a bunch of talent all over the place, and there's just not going to be room for everybody, right? There's only 53 roster spots, and there is a pretty hard salary cap in the NFL, right? This is not the NBA. You know, you can't really finagle contracts the way that you can in the NBA. If that was able to happen, then I think the Chargers and a lot of other teams will be able to keep talent that they really want on their roster, but it's just not that way, and it is what it is. You have to make do with what you have. So back to the topic. Is Michael Davis a cut or trade candidate? Yes. He is, to me, the best trade candidate that the Chargers have. Let's address the first thing. The Chargers, they drafted a bunch of DBs in this year's draft, right? And, you know, JT Woods is listed at safety, and he's probably going to end up playing safety in the NFL, you know, barring any move or whatever, but that hasn't, you know, really been put out there yet. You know, I think he could move to corner because he is fast and he is rangy, but he's also very slim. So I think he would fit better at corner, maybe slot corner, whatever, but whatever. I'm not the coach, so, you know, I can only just give my opinion on that. But he will be playing safety as far as we know. Now, the Chargers did also draft two other DBs, Jasir Taylor out of Wake Forest and Dean Leonard out of Ole Miss. Now, both of these guys are listed at cornerback. Both of these guys are sub 4.4 guys, so they both run in the 4.3s. They're very fast, and they have a lot of experience, right? As far as college goes, I know Dean Leonard is Canadian, and you know he's a pretty, I don't want to say a big star, but he's pretty well known in Canada as far as football goes. You know, when I was researching this video, I really didn't know all of that, but he's pretty well known. So he does seem to have talent. Both these guys seem to have talent. And I think either one of them, if either one of these guys hits in camp, right, if they come out and they make plays, if they are able to hold up their end out there at corner, then I think it is going to be much easier for the Chargers to move off of Michael Davis. And they're going to have to move off of at least a few guys, right? Because it's almost time to pay the piper, right? Justin Herbert, we already know he's up. His contract is, he's going to be eligible for a contract extension after this season. And you're going to want to lock your quarterback up, your franchise quarterback up, and you're going to want to lock him up as quick as you can before the price goes up, obviously. But there are a couple other guys who are going to come up as well, too. For instance, Derwin James, he has not signed a new contract yet. He will be in camp. Now, I don't know how much he's going to be doing. I don't know if he's going to really be doing all that much on the field, but he will be there. He will be in camp. And that's obviously a great sign for the Chargers. And Derwin James is a leader on the team, so this is not surprising at all. He's going to be there. He wants to be out there with his guys right now. He might, you know, get some stuff from his agent saying, hey, you might need to take it easy. You know, you might not want to, you know, get involved in drills and stuff. You might just want to stay on the sidelines until you're locked up, until you're locked in. And I'm sure that's what he'll do, but he's going to be there and he's not going to be a distraction at all. So that's a good sign. But the Chargers are going to have to move off of some guys. And there are guys on this roster who are making quite a bit of money. And I think Michael Davis is one of them, even though he is going to be a free agent at the end of the season. And I don't think the Chargers are going to re-sign him. The best move for the Chargers right now is to get a draft pick for him. And he does have some value. He has some value around this league. There was a lot of noticeable bad secondary play last year. You know, I'm just off the top of my head, the Raiders, right? The Niners, a bunch of teams had a lot of bad secondary play. Even the Bucks at some points. There was a lot of, like, more than I can remember, really. And, you know, maybe it's just the NFL is a passing league now, and this is more noticeable than it's ever been. Maybe I think that's probably what it is, but there has been a lot of bad DB play. So Michael Davis does have a market around this league, and I'm sure that there are plenty of teams who are willing to give up at least a fourth rounder for Michael Davis, because Michael Davis, when he's healthy, he can be a really, really, really good defensive back, especially if he is a guy who is able to play some zone. If he's able to mix in some zone with some man, I think that's when he really is at his best. I notice a lot of times in zone coverage, sometimes he'll get beat because he looks in the backfield. So, every now and then, and, I think a lot of corners do that, but I think if you mix in the man in zone, he can be really good. He had a really, really good season 2 years ago, that 2020 season. He was really, really good. Last year was a little up and down, but I think if you have Dean Leonard, Jasir Taylor, if one of these guys hits, right, and if they are able to play the position at a replaceable level, then I think Michael Davis can, be shown out of town. Obviously, respectfully and all of that stuff. But I think if you don't plan on signing this guy and you have his replacement, why not trade him now, get a draft pick, and, you can have his replacement now for the next 3 years at a much cheaper price. Dean Leonard was a 7th rounder. I think Jasir Taylor, I think he was a 7th rounder as well, right? I believe he was a 7th rounder. I think so, either 6th or 7th. But he was a late round draft pick. Both of these guys are on rookie contracts where they are not making a whole lot of money, right, compared to everybody else on the team. So the very, very, very best thing that they can do is, hope that one of these guys is going to be his replacement, is going to be able to play it, is going to be able to learn the position, is going to be able to develop a little bit, so you can get Michael Davis out of town, right? So he can go to his next destination, and that way he doesn't have to wait till free agency, and he'll be able to go to another team, right? Possibly another contending team, right? So he you put him in a good place where he is able to come in and fill a void, right? Because he would, just if the Bucks traded for him, right, he would be able to come in and fill a void, right? I know number 35 for the Bucks, I think his last name is Dean. Every time I seen him play last year, he got beat very badly as well too. I don't know how he was starting. Michael Davis would be a huge upgrade over that guy. So the market is out there for him. It's just if the Chargers really want to go that route, and I don't see why not. This is the best way to do business, right? This is the old Belichick way. You trade him a year early before a year too late. If you can get a 4th rounder, then everybody's happy in that position, right? Michael Davis, he gets to go to a contending team potentially, right? The Chargers are able to get rid of his contract before it runs out, right? And you're able to have that space open, right? Because you're going to need it to pay Derwin James this year. You're going to need some of that to pay Justin Herbert next year and any other guys that come up. And then the year after actually is Rashawn Slater. He'll be eligible. So the year after. So you have cornerstone guys who you're going to need to get locked up pretty soon. So some of these guys who are kind of out on the periphery who make good money, they're probably going to have to go other places. Now, I think Michael Davis has a lot of value because he is a DB, and like I said, when he's on, he's pretty damn good. So he does have some value, and there's not going to be a lot of guys on the team who have that much value. I mean, just around the league, right? If you are going down to cut day, and it's some backup offensive lineman or something like that, you're just gonna have to cut him. You're not gonna be able to trade him and get a lot of value for him. You're just gonna have to cut him. And eat whatever salary it is, whatever dead cap money that this guy has. Michael Davis has value, and there's not too many guys, especially when it comes down to cutting and really restructuring the roster and trying to get far below the under the salary cap, because guys are coming up and you're gonna have to pay them. That you're gonna have to get rid of some of these guys, and the ones that you can get a draft pick for are the ones who are like gold right now. So if I'm the Chargers, the writing's kind of on the wall. So I think he knows as well too, Michael Davis, but I wouldn't put him out there in, a lot of one-on-ones where he could potentially get hurt or anything like that. I would try to keep him as relatively healthy as I could and look for a trade, right? Because there's going to be a lot of teams, there's going to be a lot of minor trades that go down during the cut time when it's time to cut down to 53. So I think he does have some value, and I think the Chargers should explore this as soon as possible if they aren't already doing it. But he does have value, and I would like to see him with the contending team if he's not with us. And I would like to see the Chargers get a draft pick out of it. And like I said, everybody's happy and everything worked out. So, and hopefully, Jasir Taylor, hopefully Dean Leonard, hopefully both they can both play. But I'm not banking on one of them to play, but I'm hoping that at least one of them is good enough to get out there and fill in at a replaceable level, right, for Michael Davis. But we'll see what happens going forward. Still a lot of time left. And like I said, hopefully the Chargers keep Michael Davis relatively healthy in camp, so that way if he is traded, he's able to, get ingratiated with his new team very quickly. So that would be the best situation, I think, for everybody. And hopefully it turns out that way. But, a lot of times it doesn't. There's a lot of, bad blood between, teams and not necessarily teams, but, front office people and players and things like that. So hopefully it's not the case with this. The one thing, too, that I actually forgot to go over, Michael Davis, his salary, well, actually his cap hit for this coming season is $9.4 million. Now, of that $9.4 million, $7.4 million is going to be his salary pretty much. So, again, the NFL contract's a little difficult. So there was some signing bonus money that got transferred to this year. I believe he already received that, but his salary for this season is guaranteed at $7.4 million. So the Chargers would easily be able to move that. He doesn't make too much money. And if the Chargers were to cut him, his dead cap hit would be $2 million. So again, that's not too much money even if the Chargers cut him. But why would you cut a guy like that when you can easily trade him when he has value across the league? So I think trading him is obviously the right answer. But if they are not able to make a trade or anything like that and they do cut him, his dead cap number would only be $2 million. So again, that's not all that much, and the Chargers will be able to save that $7.4 million. But I think trading him would just be the best option. So I did forget to go over that to mention the numbers. But like I said, there's still a lot of time left, and hopefully things work out, and hopefully the Chargers are able to get under that cap, and hopefully they are able to financially plan for the next 2 seasons, because you're gonna have to pay guys the next 2 seasons to keep that core together. But this is one of the things that you have to deal with when you have a good team, when you have good players. You have to deal with this. You have to pay them, and you have to negotiate. You have to work contracts out in the team's favor, right, to have some flexibility, things like that. So hopefully they're able to do that, but I think they will, and hopefully it turns out for the best for everybody. So pretty much all I got for this one, guys. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out as well too. I will be back again tomorrow with more content. Thank you so much for all the support, and until next time.